Welcome to part 2 of the Back from Vacation video. I decided to make the Vacation Ramblings its own separate video. Figured that'd be easier for people who really don't want to listen to it. And then those who just want to listen to the vacation can, and they don't have to go searching through the whole podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize in advance about the jumpiness and the lighting. For being in a white room, it is a very dark apartment. There are no actual windows in our living room, so lighting got a little bit weird there. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions on anything that are not in the show notes, feel free to message me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Enjoy.
I saw London, I saw France, I saw Gabby's underpants. That was it. That's all I had.
The end. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
Hey, Mom.
It's Gabby and Jake from the future. Yep. So we are here today. I am joined with both pups and special guest Jake, who is the dyer behind the boyfriend line and boyfriend, as one could tell. And we are here to talk about our vacation at the end of the video and separate. So if you don't want to sit through our blather of our adventures, you don't have to. Iron's also very excited about this. What, Audrey? We started in London last Wednesday, and it was amazing. It was beautiful. Spring is sprung in Europe. Don't let any of them tell you otherwise. It's legit. We got there at like 9 a.m. on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. This whole thing's just gonna be me whispering it's beautiful. And immediately went to this little place called the Badger for breakfast and had our first English breakfast, and it was wonderful and adorable and something. It was on the same street as Westminster, on the right hand side if you're walking into London North. Hope that helps to everybody in London. I'm so sorry. It was amazing. And then we walked around a lot because our hotel room was not ready for us to check in, so we didn't get to like shower and change into our Harry Potter things. So we just went for a walk. Accidentally stumbled across Buckingham Palace. That was a wee bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it wasn't very far from the hotel.
No. Our hotel was it was the Horse Guards Hotel. Oh god. Next to Scotland Yard and Big Ben, so like right on the Thames. Is the cat throwing up? No! Jack!
It's gone already?
Yeah, I think like as he threw it up, Iron put it in his mouth.
You're disgusting.
Hi. So yeah, we stayed next to Scotland Yard at the Horse Guards Hotel, and it was beautiful. And before we get any messages about anything, he booked it through Costco.
Yep.
So check out Costco. Everything from the flight to the hotels to Eurostar to drivers between the airports. It was all one package deal.
Yeah, it made everything super easy. Because I don't like to book like 5 different things when I go on vacation, or like find like 60 flights and like compare all the prices. Just book one thing and then go. So
it was amazing. But yeah, first day, we did Harry Potter Studios, the Warner Brother Studios. I cried about 7 times.
internally or externally?
Internally and externally about 3 times. I was openly weeping at the scale model of Hogwarts they do for the overshot views. When you like walk into the room, I was openly weeping by the time we got to the end of the platform. No lies. It was amazing. It was so good. I'm hoping to put little clips in the intro in between these so you can get a little bit of a taste of it, but not overdone. What'd you think of it?
I didn't cry. So that was, but it was really cool. It was definitely very cool, and they had the videos with like, what's his name?
Warwick Davis.
Sure. And then Harry Potter and Emma Watson.
Oh, Rupert Grint in the beginning.
Yeah. And they were talking about the how awesome it was and how they were filming there for so many years to make all the videos, and their like family that they built with the cast and crew. So it was very cool.
It was amazing. I was a little disappointed because when you first go in, she asks for somebody to come help open the door to the Great Hall, and she goes, "Oh, I hear it's someone's birthday." So my first reaction was, "Oh, he told them it was my birthday!" And then a 9-year-old ran up. So I couldn't really bust in and be like, "Excuse me, I'm 27. I'm more important than you. I need to open this door."
She could have. She didn't though.
I would have felt so bad, like ruining this poor girl's birthday.
There were two doors. It was a double door. You could have opened the other door. It would have been perfectly fine. That was your last chance to do that.
No, I'm going back. It was amazing. We spent probably a good 3 hours there. Yeah. There's like 2 sections to the tour, and in the middle you have a chance to get butterbeer, and we got butterbeer and butterbeer ice cream, which was delicious. We could not finish the ice cream, but it was so good anyway. It was so good. It was magical. And they had like, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just beautiful. And I totally understand when Katie said she felt at home, because that was home. That was definitely home. And I didn't, we got a couple things there. Unfortunately, they did not have sweatshirts in Jake's size to get his Slytherin shirt.
Yeah, House Slytherin. Wanted to get my my like a little hoodie or sweatshirt or something that I could put on to rep, you know. But they don't come in my size. Apparently, that's a thing.
Yeah. I asked the guy at the cashier, and he gave me a really strange look when I asked for his size. And it was like, I maybe in back, perhaps, and then a huge line for him. So I was like, no, it's fine. We'll be okay. But I picked up Snape's wand. And I'm still deciding on how to show it, but I also picked up, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a Hufflepuff notebook! I love it. It's the old crest, it's not like the new Cursed Child one, but I do want to, when we go back and see Cursed Child, because we will, I want to pick up all that Hufflepuff stuff too.
Yeah, I was a little upset. I wanted to get the Slytherin hoodie, or they had a bunch of stuff on display in the shop from... what's the new one?
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
And I wanted to get Scamander's overcoat, his like blue trench coat that he wears, and they didn't have it, so that was upsetting too. I didn't get any of the stuff I wanted there, so that's it.
We just have to go back, that's really the only thing. I think we'll find more when we see Cursed Child. I didn't want to leave, but at the same time we were really tired, because at that point we'd been up for like 36 hours straight.
With no shower.
No shower.
Yeah.
No changing. Like, in plain clothes. I look disgusting in all of the videos, but I was too happy to even care. It was beautiful. I was so happy. Yeah, I don't think... we slept mostly on the bus ride home. There were some very loud Texans repeating the movie Sorcerer's Stone 2 lines late and wrong. So I'd say that was probably my biggest complaint the whole trip. And then the next day was our big day. We did... so through the Costco thing, you get tour credits with Golden Tours, London Golden Tours, something like that. And so we chose the Leeds Castle, White Cliffs of Dover, Canterbury Cathedral, and a Greenwich boat tour for our big, like, full day tour. And that was so worth it. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So we went to Leeds Castle, which Henry VIII turned into, like, the big deal castle that it is today, and then an American heiress bought it in the teens or 20s and sort of turned it into the museum that it is today. we had mead tasting, and there's Australian black swans.
I made friends with a peacock.
Yes, yes. And then it attacked a group of school children. Oh, it was wonderful. It was beautiful. And that's when we started Too Tall for History. Jacob versus tiny doorways and ending in everywhere. France had pretty tall doorways.
Yeah, there were a few that were scary.
Yeah. But yeah, it was amazing. I would have liked to stay there. That was a really good picnic area. Like, the Bakery Bears have their knitability thing going on right now at the castles, and Leeds Castle definitely had good knitability. There was a cafe, there was plenty of park space, and I guess they have like a lot of free things in the summer, like concerts and children activities and stuff.
Yeah, we could have spent a day there.
Oh yeah, easily. It was great. And they even had bits of like, was it William the Conqueror that first built it?
I'm not gonna like try to remember that.
There was bits of it that were built in like the 10s or the 1100s, and so they had a small amount of that left, but most of it was built up in the 1400s. And then like remodeled.
Our tour guide mentioned William the Conqueror like 100 times in different places, so maybe.
Yeah, we were down, if you're not familiar with England, we were in south of London most of the time, so all of it was William the Conqueror building up his stuff against essentially France and the Vikings, so lots of William the Conqueror.
Yeah, it was like the tour we took is like a scenic tour that goes down from London to the Channel between England and France. So we just kind of like stopped at a couple places along the way, and then Dover is the kind of like the ending point of England, like closest to France across the Channel. So it's got a lot of really important like war history behind it, and it's got some really awesome white cliffs that are totally cool.
They were awesome. We did not get to tour the cliffs. It was sort of just like a stopping point, but I think we were there for the perfect amount of time just to take pictures and look at rocks. Our tour guide had us pick up rocks. I don't remember why, but she was very excited about it.
The rocks were made of flint.
Yes.
Which is very cool.
Yeah. It was amazing. I would like to go back to Dover Castle and visit the actual castle itself.
Yeah,
and,
that
like,
castle
the
looked
tunnels.
cool. Yep. And it has the tunnels that go through through the cliffs, so that would have been very cool.
Yeah. So next time. And I hear if you are a member of the English Heritage, which I think is like a yearly donation towards all the castles, you get like a pass to all the castles in England. So that might be in my future. I won't lie. And then after Dover, we drove up, not up the cliffs, but like up onto the top, and then a roundabout to Canterbury. Can we just look at Audrey for a second?
She's shedding quite a bit.
I know, it's spring. We went up to Canterbury and walked over to the cathedral, and that town was adorable. That was like the perfect... I would live in Canterbury. That was the perfect little town.
Yeah, that's the one we walked all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one we got mildly lost in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That place was really cool. I think that is like their version of a college town. She said there was like a couple different universities there or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Well, like...
I was going to say like...
Southern? Yale? No. Yale would be Oxford or Cambridge.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like a bunch of little quaint shops and like a lot of history there, and we got we almost got like in trouble for like trespassing on school grounds there too, which was awesome.
We were walking around, so we went inside the cathedral, and they're restoring a lot of like the main church section. So a lot of it was under scaffolding, and like we got to go see like a martyr's altar, and I can't remember which one. I don't remember if I want to say Thomas More. I feel like that's wrong. I know it's not Martin Luther. Do you remember who it was who died there? Mm-mm. Somebody died there. And then they had his shrine. And then during the Reformation, his shrine got stolen. So now there's just like this one single candle in the middle of the altar. And it's beautiful. And like in the crypts, there was churches and like they still hold mass there. And they had a lot of World War II history because of all the bombings and like a lot of like the things they did to help prevent the stained glass from getting destroyed because they couldn't get out of the cathedral enough. So then we walked around the cathedral and thought, oh, let's go down this little tunnel way to take some more pictures. And before we knew it, we were in like the middle of an all-boys school courtyard watching people get tours to go to school there, and we couldn't get out. We got trapped. It was so worth it though.
It was a pretty school. I wish I went there when I was a kid.
It was the King's School in Canterbury, so we're so sorry if we were those creepy guys with cameras.
Yeah, the martyr, he was, it was I want to say priest, but it's probably not a priest. It was
Bishop.
some bishop, probably.
Or Archbishop.
Archbishop of Canterbury, and the king said, like, is nobody going to rid me of this pesky whatever, and then 4 knights came and murdered him in the church. So they built this, like, huge, extravagant, whatchamacallit?
Shrine?
It's like a shrine to him, and then, I believe, when Henry VIII separated from the Catholic Church, he had all the shrines and stuff like that destroyed. So now they just have a candle where that guy's shrine was. And then there's like a little museum down the street that might have his finger like on display. But
we did not. We did not there. I would have liked to, but we got a little bit lost. But
maybe if they had the whole hand.
It was a really nice town to walk around. I found a fabric shop but no yarn store. It was just the perfect like little walk around place. Cobblestone streets. It was a really nice contrast between, I mean, nice now but awful because of what happened of like every 2 buildings it'd be like, this is from the 1200s, this is from 2002, this is the 1200s, this is from 1957. I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was nice. And then after Canterbury, we went to the Royal Navy School, which is now an art gallery in Greenwich, and got to take a Thames boat back to Westminster, which it just says river cruise on the thing, so you think you get like this private river cruise boat, but it was like their transit system, which was even better, because like that could be our morning commute. Like, the boat's late.
Yeah.
Traffic on the Thames again.
That could be if we lived there.
It's a dream. It was amazing. We got there a little bit before sunset, so by the time we got to like the Tower Bridge and the Tower of London and the Navy Memorial Museum boat, it was like dusk. It was beautiful. It was freezing, but it was amazing.
Yeah, I like the river. The river boat was pretty cool.
And they had coffee on it. Come on, Metro North. Step up your game. Oh, that was the night. So that was Friday and St. Patrick's Day. So then after that, we went to Rule's Restaurant. Do you remember where that was in London? No. I'll put all the information in the show notes. But we went to the oldest restaurant in London for St. Patrick's Day. And it was delicious. It was founded in 1798, I think.
It was like 200 and change years old.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm really glad we got seats. It was delicious. Before we were so rudely interrupted. Discussed rules. That was amazing. And then we spent probably a good hour or so trying to find a traditional English pub to get a drink in.
We were trying to find something with Irish music playing.
Turns out on St. Patrick's Day, it's very hard to do that.
Yeah, it's really busy.
It was bad.
Where we were.
We were in like, I called it the Times Square of London. That's essentially where we ended up.
Yeah, it was in the theater district, so like in the Piccadilly area, and there's just there's a lot of places you could go and drink.
They were packed. They were so packed.
But a lot of them are just like wall to wall packed. You'd have to like shoulder in and shoulder out, and it was very not conducive.
We found one place that I think we got there early enough that we could get a couple seats, got a couple drinks, and then essentially at that point called it quits. It was about 1, maybe 2 in the morning at that point.
Yeah.
So, for St. Patrick's Day in Europe. Woo.
Stayed at the bar, then we got to say happy birthday to Gabby, and took her back to the hotel and went to bed.
Yeah. Because the next day, we went to the Tower of London.
Yep. But
I could have spent all day there.
there's not a lot. Like, Tower of London, supposed to be like where they tortured all these famous people. Like, biggest letdown. No. Like, it's like one room. You go into one room and they're like, oh, this is a rack. What was the other thing they had? They had like the little iron thing that makes you crouch over and like they sit you there forever. Like, that was it. They didn't have like
Emergency snacks. The tower, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I also am a giant English history nerd. So it was super exciting to see like that much history. One place, still standing. And they had like the bits of the Roman wall in there. And like the original I want to say Norman.
sure. Yeah.
Norman, Nordic, like the first chapel that they put up. It was great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, if I was visiting London, I would go see the Tower of London.
Yeah.
The Tower of London, the Tower Bridge, Big Ben are obviously like all
The big things.
big things to do.
And
It was a little bit expensive to go to the Tower of London.
Well, it's £22 to get in, and then they have an optional like £4 or £5 donation to help with the upkeep. So I opted for that because yes, like that needs to stay well maintained for a very
But
long time.
What I will say is that if you're going to London, like a very large percentage of all of their museums are free and open to the public.
Yes.
So if you're going on a budget, you don't want to spend, you have 2, 3, 4 people, and you don't want to spend $100 to go to the Tower of London, go check out one of the museums. Because I think all said and done, I paid £2 or £3 at the Albert Victoria Museum
Just for like the map and stuff.
just for the map and to check our coat, and that was it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was also a very knittable place. Lots of benches, there's a little cafe, lots of sitting area. The ravens. The ravens.
Yeah, I made friends with a raven.
We
while
made,
there.
and one raven was like blocking the staircase to tourists, so they were communicating to each other and they wouldn't let him up. And then towards the end, while we were starting to head out, there was a guy on a bench. Jake was trying to call the ravens with cat noises.
It worked pretty well.
It worked with the peacock, so I guess why not with the ravens? And this guy was talking to one raven, and then another raven was like chasing a smaller bird around the base of the White Tower, and then both ravens went and hung out, and it looked like they were like plotting against the queen. It was amazing. I could have stayed there all day and just like hung out and knit and been with my ravens. So are we good with the tower? Thumbs up for the tower.
Yeah, tower was good.
Tower was amazing. Easily could have spent all day there. But we had places to go. So after that, we stopped at the grave of the unknown Roman girl, which was sort of in like the middle of Surprise. Like, was not expecting that there.
Yeah, it was like right in the middle of the financial district.
Yeah. That was beautiful. It was a nice like walk by, stop, and then we went to Duck and Waffle for snacks and drinks. Turns out it's reservations only. And it is the highest restaurant in London.
Yeah, it's the highest restaurant in London.
It's 40
floors.
stories.
Yep.
40 floors. And it's, I think what did me in for it was you're in a glass elevator in a glass tube on the outside of the building. And you go from like ground to 40 in 60, 90 seconds.
Less than that. Yeah, it was really quick.
It was no bueno.
Very super fast elevator.
No bueno.
I
Getting
thought it was fun.
up there was much easier than getting back down to the ground. I was prepared to walk 40 floors, but you could not do that. Food was delicious though. Drinks were amazing. I wish we got to eat in the restaurant. I was very excited for duck and waffles.
Yeah, getting duck and waffle would have been good at duck and waffle, but alas.
We did not know. But it was enjoyable. We were there for probably like an hour. And then by the time it took us to leave, it was a little bit more difficult because you have to wait in this like barren hallway of windows with just like 3 feet of space between you and the elevator glass. That was not okay. It was not okay with me.
She makes it sound terrible, but it was, I mean, it was beautiful. You got to look out and see over the whole city. I mean, very, very amazing views while you're there at the restaurant and the bar. And the atmosphere and the food was just all great. I could have spent all day at Duck and Waffle, so.
I usually could have just because I couldn't get down.
Very true.
Yeah. And then after that, we went to the Victoria and Albert Museum, which definitely needs like 2 days on its own, at least. But we went through, that's sort of when I was getting hangry and needed like my afternoon tea and coffee. So I could have been in better spirits, but I was very excited to see they had a lot of the fashion stuff there, starting from the 1700s. And they had Beatrix Potter. You can take pictures in that area, but they had like a Beatrix Potter hallway set up. That was amazing. And they had all of her original, not all of them, but a bunch of her original watercolors. It was great. Oh, also at the tower, obviously we went into the Crown Jewels building.
Oh yeah, the Crown Jewels
That
were
was
really
so cool. I kind of like, out of pure laziness, they had a section where you're on one of the like moving sidewalks. I kind of wish that they just did that for the whole building, just so I could have just stood there and watched the jewels go by. But I understand that's a little excessive. But it was amazing. Got to see Queen Victoria's crown. It was great. And what was it, Edward's, where it was once covered in diamonds, but they had to reuse all the diamonds for other crowns, so it was just this empty case of what was once like thousands of tiny diamonds.
Yep.
It was fantastic. It was fascinating.
We got to see the armory while we were there too.
Yes.
So that was very cool.
And they had a really fun, like, children area where you got to, like, shoot a bow and arrow and, like, charge and prime a cannon and...
Yeah, like an interactive, like,
children's
learning
section.
center.
That was fun.
Yeah.
For adults, too. I think adults had more fun with that than the kids.
Some of them.
Excuse me. Yeah, where else did we see Victoria and Albert?
I dragged you around a bunch of different places. So we went and saw a room that was full of jewelry and like ornate swords and all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And what else did I bring you? I brought her by some like photography places, and then we went and looked at.
Oh no, wasn't the photograph room empty?
Possibly.
Yeah, it
and
was.
Then we looked inside the library, but like there was nothing in that we couldn't go inside there because then we would have to stay in the library for the entire day.
Forever.
And then we went and looked at a bunch of like.
There's a lot of
furniture.
statues.
Not,
Oh yeah.
Like, it wasn't. There was like furniture slash like 1900s modern like historical items. And then we went and saw.
Lots of religious. There was a lot of religious stuff.
Like things. I can't remember what the thing is called, but it looks like a sun, and you put the bread
The
in there when
Eucharist.
you do the whatever. You put your bread. You put the bread in there when you do that thing where the priest feeds you. Yeah. So.
Religion 101.
Mm-hmm. But they were like really fancy.
Yeah,
They were, like,
it was
covered in,
amazing.
Like, rubies and diamonds and like crazy.
It was beautiful. Yeah, they had like the inlaid wood, and like they had a little video showing you how they do it. It was amazing. Their furniture was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got there pretty late in the day, so it was about close. I mean, they were closing when they kicked us out.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I think they were setting up for a wedding. It looked like they were setting up for a wedding.
I wasn't paying attention.
There was a lot of flowers and food when we were leaving, and a bunch of like caterers waiting impatiently outside. And then after that, what did we do? Victoria and Albert Museum. Did we go straight to dinner? We walked around. We found the only tube station where you have to walk up like 6 stories of a spiral staircase to get out.
Yeah.
It was Leicester Square or Piccadilly, one of the two. That was a surprise. Was not expecting that one.
No.
It was awful.
I think we went to dinner after that because we were early for
We
our
went to
reservation.
Horden Chocolate. Harrods. We went to Harrods afterwards and got chocolates.
Harrods is like if you like shopping, I would definitely stop there.
It was very expensive.
There's like it's
They
like
had a it wasn't a Tesla. Aston Martin?
yeah, it was an Aston Martin.
They had an
dealership
Aston
inside
Martin
there, yeah.
dealership inside. But they had the chocolates and the teas. They had so much.
I had chocolates, teas, clothing, like everything.
It was great. it was nice to walk around and like peruse. I mean, we did look at stuff because I forgot my bathing suit, and there was a really nice pool at the Paris hotel, so we perused for a bathing suit, but it was a lot. They were nice, but they were like designer clothes.
Yeah, they're like high-end designer stuff.
Yeah.
Like people you never heard of, designers. So if you like shopping, definitely stop there. It's like 5 floors of just like shopping, anything you could possibly want.
Yeah.
It was very cool. Definitely pick up some chocolates. Chocolates are super good.
They were so. We still have some.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then we went to what was it called? It was Gordon Ramsay's, one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants.
The Haddon Street Kitchen.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was very dark and loud. It was much darker and louder than I would have thought Gordon Ramsay would like in his own restaurant. But the drinks were delicious. The food was fantastic.
Yeah, the food was really good. Yeah, it was definitely loud. It was kind of like, maybe it was because we were very tired, but I felt like the music was like wearing on me.
Yeah.
It was like almost like putting me into a trance. I was like gonna fall asleep at the table. It was crazy.
We were also like, it had very eclectic lighting situations, so like we were on the darker side of it, and they had desk lamps next to us, but I would have felt weird like stealing that from the person next to me, like, excuse me sir, I need this desk lamp. I'm going to fall asleep in my creme brulee.
Yep.
It was good though. I was glad that they fit us in, or like 2 hours before our reservation.
Yeah, man, that's...
We would have died.
Yeah, we would have fallen asleep.
It was amazing. And that was our last day in London. Did we get anything at the tower? No. There wasn't really anything souvenir worthy at the tower. We did a lot of our souvenir shopping in Paris. That was a very kitschy buying period for us.
Yeah, we had a few things.
Yeah. But then the next day, we had to get up early and go to King's Cross to catch the Eurostar to Paris. So, as one does at King's Cross, you have to go to platform 9 3/4. And I don't have anything in it yet, but I just got this little tin, and it's going to be a Notions pouch. Oh, and I got a Deathly Hallows bag. I put that somewhere. But it was nice to at least stop in and see it and take pictures. So, we did go to platform 9 3/4. And then we got our train to Paris, which was also an adventure on itself.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh.
It looked like you were falling asleep.
On the train or right now?
Right now.
Oh. No, I'm not falling asleep. No, I was thinking about before we leave London.
Did we do anything else?
Ooh, excuse me, maybe I was falling asleep. Definitely want to give a shout out to our hotel, which was like great.
Yes.
The
Royal Horse Guards Hotel next to Scotland Yard on Whitehall Road.
Yeah, it was Whitehall Court.
Whitehall Court.
Or maybe, I don't know. But it was beautiful. I mean, the building is absolutely gorgeous. The staff was super friendly and super helpful, and the rooms were beautiful. The views were awesome. And their breakfast every day is just like...
Ugh, that was by far the best breakfast.
Best hotel breakfast I've ever had.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It was a really, really nice place.
It was so good. We didn't, I mean, like, that filled us up until at least 2 or 3, and then...
And we didn't get to dine in the restaurant, but we did order room service from the restaurant, and their food is, I mean...
Oh, that was so good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So, just if you're going to London, stay there.
Worth it.
Yeah.
So worth it. And it's right next to, it's literally like across the street from the Embankment tube station. So you're like right in the metro area. We were maybe a 10-minute walk away from Cleopatra's Needle, which was super exciting to see, and probably like a good half-hour, 40-minute walk from the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was longer than I anticipated, but I was just so excited to...
No, we were more on the Big Ben side.
Yeah.
So we were like 5 minutes from Big Ben. When it was ringing, you could hear it. And by like 5 minutes, I mean like we were a block and a half away from Big Ben.
Yeah,
so.
we were, like, there's Big Ben, Road, Scotland Yard, us.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was beautiful. Also very noteworthy. Lots of gardens. We did not get to play ping pong. It was a little rainy out.
Yeah.
But they had ping pong tables. So, yeah. Eurostar was amazing. If you don't know what it is, It's a 268-kilometer-an-hour train that takes you from London to Paris in under 3 hours now. They just bumped that down to like 2 hours and 45 minutes. And it takes you in the tunnel under the channel, so that was super exciting. It was very nice. It was a very nice train ride.
Yep.
It was like the perfect time. Like, you get a little nap in, get a lot of knitting done, they give you
And
lunch.
Feed us lunch. Yeah. That was because we booked the, our Costco booked the, what do they call that? It was like, it's like Coach Plus tickets. But we get lunch and like a little glass of wine and some coffee, and it was, I mean, it's nice to like rest and be able to eat. And
Yeah.
we had a nice little like seating arrangement where we got to sit across from each other with a little table in the center, which was, you know.
Yeah, we started off in
Good
just
fun.
like regular normal train seats, and I would like to say that Europe,
They're definitely not normal train seats.
normal
Those are
train
the-
seats, like, you know, like you have the two seats next to each other and then the back of the seat in front of you. Do all European trains have trays? Because America needs to hop on that. I would have killed for a little tray on Metro North every day to put my coffee. Killed.
I think that's because we were in the,
Murder.
I think that was like.
But
'cause
I
we were
see
in
it,
a
like-
nice car.
When, Isabel from Fluffy Fibers, she posts pictures on the train and she has a little tray.
Maybe she books the nice tickets.
Isabel, do you watch this podcast and book the nice tickets to go to work every day? Let me know.
They probably,
She
yeah.
does. She probably does. I hope she watches this. I would cry. Okay, so we're gonna take a break and load up this video because my phone's acting up, and then we're gonna take you to Paris. Figuratively. Mild hiatus because of storage problems. And then we got donuts. More emergency snacks. Whilst binding off our shawl. Okay, so where were we? We got on Eurostar, we went through the channel, our bangs went crazy, and then we went to Paris. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. A little bit intimidating because, you know, super confident me and my 2% fluid on Duolingo realized that I don't know French. I mean, I can tell you I'm not a B, but apparently that doesn't come up as often in conversation as I've been led to believe by my tiny green owl friend. So it was sort of a major shock once we got into Paris. Also, all the bathrooms were under construction, so like the first 20 minutes was just us trying to find a bathroom. But we figured it out, and we got to a taxi, and we made it to our hotel, which was Hotel Molitor. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were 14th? The 14th area?
Mm-hmm.
We were right outside, like, the Seine goes around the circle of Paris. We were, like, right outside to the southwest. But we were within an hour's walk of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Definitely 40 minutes walk to the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, we were...
Which is a great walk. You get to walk right along the river, and you can like kind of see the whole tower the whole time you're there, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It was very cool.
It
Walked
was
there
very
on the
cool.
first night. Gabby had a minor panic attack because she doesn't know how to speak French.
It's true.
But me knowing that I don't know how to speak French going there, I was just like, okay, well, we'll just deal with this because that's what we do. So I wasn't expecting to be able to communicate, but most of the people there speak enough English to get us by, which was great. And nobody was like super rude about it.
We
They
knew...
were just like, oh, speak English. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, but like we knew, please, thank you, do you speak English, I'm so sorry. And then like the basics for ordering coffee and lunch. And you know, those things. So I definitely say next time.
Except when she forgot how to say water at the restaurant.
I think I was so deliriously tired at that point. It was our last night, and like I was literally a zombie on my feet because the adrenaline of the 6 days had finally worn off. So I couldn't say the word for water, and that's what threw me off. I was so close to ordering my whole meal in French. Stupid water. That's what I get for trying to hydrate.
Yep.
But yeah, so our first night we went and walked along the river, saw the Eiffel Tower, and then walked back, and we just got like a bottle of wine, a hunk of cheese, and a baguette for dinner, which was nice and relaxing. It was a nice chill transit day. And then the next day, we actually went to the Eiffel Tower. So we got up bright and early, had a nice French breakfast, made it about halfway through the first sentence of somebody speaking French to me before I panicked, and then they saw the look of sheer terror on my face, and they realized we did not speak French. But every day, I got a little bit farther into each sentence before people realized I couldn't understand them. So I'd like to say that was progress.
Yeah. And people walked up to you and asked you how to get places, which means that you look like you fit in.
It's true. We did have a couple people ask us why we weren't being bugged by the guys with rings of Eiffel Towers. Like, why aren't they bugging them? And we're like, well, because we look French, so. But we didn't say that. We just sort of walked faster. I think I'd rather have the Eiffel Tower guys talk to me than, you know, us.
Only know how to say is €1. €1.
€1. But yeah, so Monday, a lot of the museums and stuff are closed in France, or Paris. At least in Paris, so like Versailles closed, the Louvre's closed. So we did the Eiffel Tower, which total cost us what? Combined maybe €30 to get to the very top. How much was the ticket to the summit?
I don't remember.
It was €7 to walk from ground level to the second floor, which was totally worth it. Prep for leg day, but it was way better than standing in line for the elevators.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to go like pretty much right up the stairs.
Yeah.
And even though it was like a lot, like hundreds and hundreds of stairs, it was
It's like 500 to 600 steps.
it was worth it.
Yeah. And like each level, the first level had a restaurant, and they have the glass. I was led to believe it was like a full glass floor, but now that I say that, I realize that would just be asking for a disaster. But the corners of the center bit are glass, so you can like look down and take pictures on them. They have a restaurant, they have like a cafeteria, souvenirs, lots of history stuff, which I mean, it's the Eiffel Tower, so they should. You gonna be okay there, Audrey? Thank you, bud.
Okay, alright.
And then we walked up to the second bit, which had more history things and the telescopes, and you could look out and like how the gears worked and like original elevator museum-y stuff. Was there anything else on the second floor?
There was like some stuff about how tall the Eiffel Tower was compared to other famous buildings.
There's bathrooms on every level, so that was a plus. I think it was maybe €14 to take ticket to get to the summit of the Eiffel Tower, which I felt much more comfortable doing that than doing Duck and Waffle.
She says that, but
I mean, I was brave enough that I looked outside the elevator on the way down from the Eiffel Tower, so.
it's because we were in a large metal structure.
Which I feel like is more stable than glass.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the Eiffel Tower's lasted this long. I don't know how long that building's been there, so I'm gonna say Eiffel Tower wins over that one.
Stability-wise, I'm sure.
Yes. So we went to the top of the Eiffel Tower, and I'm terrified of heights, and it was amazing. I even went like kind of to the edge. I went to the edge and took pictures. It was great.
Yeah, it took her a minute, but we got her to the edge.
Yep. And there's a little champagne bar at the top, and that guy was my favorite.
Yep.
He was the best. He was just like this tiny little... No, he wasn't tiny. He was like 6 feet tall, giant man in a parka in like the world's tiniest little booth, just serving little flutes of champagne.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. And there's an apartment at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
That I did not know about. The designer, architect, and his daughter lived up there. We decided not to buy that one. We felt it would have been a little hard on the dogs. 40 minutes to get to the bathroom.
That would have been tough.
Would have been a little bit rough. Jax probably would have died. He would have exploded.
Yes.
No, he's fine. He's okay. So yeah, that was our morning. We were there for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, tops. Luckily, we rode the elevator all the way down, so we did not have to walk down the stairs. That would have hurt.
Yeah, don't go down the stairs if you have bad knees.
Yeah, no. Or if you get, I got like vertigo halfway up because I wasn't sure where to look when walking up so many stairs in a circular pattern. Like, if I felt like if I looked up, I would have fallen backwards. But if I looked down too much, I just got dizzy. So I would say be aware of that too.
Didn't happen to me, so
Well, I guess you're just special.
walk up the stairs.
Just walk up the stairs. And then we walked around. Eiffel Tower, also very knittable. There was definitely lots of places to sit and knit, and you could have picnicked in the park.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it was a little bit warmer, we would have planned to bring like a lunch and stuff and hung out, but it was quite a windy day. Very glad we went when we did, because it was not crowded at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that France overall was a little bit cooler than England was.
Mm-hmm. It was windier, and it rained
it was
more.
windier. So it wasn't quite as into like spring as
England
London was, yeah.
Yeah.
Less green.
Yes. It definitely felt closer to a New England spring.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do? We did...
After we went to the Eiffel Tower, we went and got sandwiches and ate them underneath the arc, which was great.
Triumph. It was amazing.
Delicious.
It was mildly terrifying getting there because there's no obvious way to get to the arc, which is in the middle of a giant roundabout. So it looked like you just had to like run for your life across it, but
which we did witness some people do.
Yes,
it was
they
great.
tried. They made it halfway through twice, and then they got turned back by a bus. That was terrifying.
But it's an underground passage that gets you up underneath the arc. So we went underneath all the traffic and up underneath the arc and sat down and had ham and cheese baguettes and
like a chocolate mousse sphere.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
And a couple pastries and a praline pastry that we had, which was really, really good.
That sounds delicious. We did not go to the top of the arc. I think that was like €15 or something. There was a very long line, and it was just a nice place to like stop and have lunch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I caught a Mr. Mime there, which was great. All right, so now I have my European Pokemon.
My Pokemon was not working, so I could not catch Mr. Mime, and I'm a little bit bitter about it. I'm a lot bitter about it.
I got a picture of her next to Mr. Mime.
That's true.
It's pretty ridiculous.
We'll post it here. So yeah, that was good. I think next time we go, I'd like to go to the top of the arc.
I don't know. I think it's just beautiful from the ground level.
Yeah.
I don't have unless there's something special in there that I don't know about.
I'd like to, I mean, we didn't walk around the whole thing a lot. There's a lot of like the war memorial stuff, which is really nice. But I think I'd like to get a picture of Paris from that. Like maybe each time we go, we'll go to a different tower and take pictures.
Sure.
Yeah, we have to go a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Did we go to Notre Dame right after that? I think we did.
Sure.
So then we went over to Notre Dame. Yeah, we sort of just did like a giant triangle around, which was amazing. It was much smaller than I thought it would be in person. I don't know why I thought it was huge. Like, I mean, it is big. I thought it would be bigger.
I mean, it's pretty massive.
It is massive. I was more, it kind of, I don't know, like I was very impressed with it, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. I just thought it would be bigger. I don't know. It was sort of like the disappointment when I actually saw the Statue of Liberty in person. I thought that was huge. I was very disappointed in our statue. Thanks, France, but that was thought it was bigger. But
That's what she said. I don't know. I think that all those things are pretty large. I mean, the Statue of Liberty is pretty large. Notre Dame is very large. I mean, once you go inside.
Yeah, once you get it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah. Even on the outside, we walked around the entire thing. I mean, it was really big. Another great place to be able to sit down and have a picnic and eat lunch and stuff like that.
Yes. I think the detail work is what captivated me the most. Like, instead of looking at the sheer mass of it. It was looking at all the details because they had so many of the statues like around the doorway and the doors themselves, and trying really hard not to burst out into song the whole time.
Thank you for not doing that.
I did internally.
Yeah.
The whole time. Like, the whole train ride, I was just singing the beginning song in Beauty and the Beast when Belle's walking around the village. Like, bonjour, bonjour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We were there at a very cool time. We got to hear some people sing.
Yes.
And
We got there like 20 minutes before Mass started. The 6:30 Mass. Oh, we forgot. We went shopping in a French mall on the way to the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I needed a jacket.
Yep. I got a French jacket and a French swimsuit so we can go swimming. But yeah, Notre Dame was beautiful and captivating and wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous. Highly recommended. I felt a little weird once Mass started, like I was intruding a little bit, but I was really glad we were there when it started. Like, to see the incense go and everybody singing and the bells.
Mm-hmm. Everything was really cool.
It was beautiful. And like there was a lot of little parks around it in the back. I'm forgetting all my church architecture, but like there was a little extra park there, and there was a lot of stuff on the side because it was right on the river.
Yep, a ton of cafes right by like Notre Dame, and like places where you can sit and kind of like just gaze at the building and have a coffee and a baguette.
Yes. I think if we had more time, we definitely could have done that.
Alright, so Notre Dame, did that. Been there, done that. And then we walked from Notre Dame past the Louvre, and we didn't go into it, but we went into the little courtyard with the pyramids.
Cool.
It was good. I'd like to go in it one day.
What?
And then we went to dinner at Le Soufflé, which we got, thankfully, because of Jake's area director or boss or...
One of the chefs for the company knows the chef at Le Soufflé, so we were able to get a little table reserved for us, which is great.
It was amazing. If you are ever in Paris and get a reservation, I highly recommend it. It was so good. We did the, like, not pre-picked menu, but you had, like, a choice of 3 or 4 appetizers, 3 or 4 main soufflés, and then, like, 5 or 6 dessert soufflés. It was so good. It was so filling.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have
It was
thought
really
that
good.
egg whites could be so filling? We both got the blue cheese and pear souffle for the appetizer. And then I got the boeuf bourguignon souffle for main. Oh my, it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good, Audrey.
I got chicken and mushroom souffle.
It was so good. I didn't even need like the gravy stuff that they put on it. Like it was boeuf, but a souffle. No, it's just the phone. They're pretty mad about it. And then I got the citron souffle for dessert, which was beautiful and light and delicious.
And I got a Grand Marnier souffle for dessert, which comes with a handle of Grand Marnier.
A new one, like a real one with a full one.
Yeah, they came out and they like pour a little Grand Marnier on top of the souffle, which is kind of like a very light orange flavor to it. And then they just leave the bottle on the table. And they're just like, add at your leisure. And I was like, certainly.
We thought, like, I figured, like, no, they probably just left us, like, a little, like, there's a little bit, they put, like, a shot in for each table. No, it was, like, a just cracked open bottle.
Yeah, it was huge.
I think we just walked back to the metro station. We managed to figure out the Paris metro, which, once you sort of got into it, it was a lot less confusing.
Yeah, I like the metro
In Paris
better than London.
I do, too.
It was cheaper and easier to use.
Yes. London, it wanted you to buy tickets depending on where you're going. Yeah. So, if you're tired, like me, and say a completely random train station, you pay like £19 to get 4 stops down. But Paris is more like New York's, where like you can buy either a single ride, or we got a 10 ticket book, which if you're visiting Paris, I highly recommend. Or you can do like an unlimited pass like in New York. It was good.
It did leave a lot of tiny pieces of paper in our pockets, so.
Yeah, but it was overall it was great, and it was only like €1.80 or €1.80 for a single ride, which is way cheaper than anything in London.
Yeah. I think if we do,
And cheaper than most of the stuff that you get even over here. in
yeah, New
America.
York's $2.35 now. I think a subway ride. I
So
could
it
be
was
wrong.
cheap. It's easy. It's relatively clean.
I felt much safer in Paris and London in the metro than I ever have in a New York subway station. Which is very clean and very well lit. Like even in the subway in the tunnels, it was very well lit.
Yeah, they have like lanterns in the side
Every
of the
couple
tunnels.
like
Yeah.
meters. It was good. I think next time we do London, I do the Oyster card. Because you can get like a refillable or pay as you go Metro card. So I think next time we should do that.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, everything was more expensive in London.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. And then did we do anything else after that? I don't think so. Then we just went back to the hotel.
We ate at least souffle, yeah. Then we dragged butt back to the hotel.
Yep.
We're tired.
That was good. And then the next morning, we went swimming. It was freezing. The water was really nice. We kept missing, there's an indoor and an outdoor pool at our hotel. And we kept missing the indoor pool times. Like, it closed really early, and then during the week, school kids go there.
Mm-hmm.
So we managed to wake up late enough that the school kids were about to arrive.
Yeah, we just missed the indoor pool.
Yeah,
But the outdoor pool is super refreshing.
It was very nice. It was good. We did not do dedicated laps like everyone else there, but it was a nice, like, 20-minute swim around.
Listen, I did some laps, alright?
It's true. I did, like, 2 laps.
I was lapping.
And then breakfast, and this was Tuesday. Yes? Yes. This was Tuesday, so this was Versailles Day, which there was a little bit of a kerfuffle because they were on strike in the morning, and they're closed Mondays, and then they were on strike, so our tickets were delayed to being delivered to the hotel, and then they weren't sure if we were even gonna get in, but we, it was a very easy train ride to Versailles, and it's the last stop on the, like, the Sea Line or something. So it's very easy to get to, and we figured at least if we don't get to go into the building, we went to it. We tried.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought tickets ahead of time, which I highly recommend, because the line to get in was long, but swift.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we had to stand in another line to get tickets, it would have been even worse. So we got in. We got there about 10:30 maybe.
Yeah, probably around there.
Yeah, we got in at maybe 11:30. And it was wonderful. I highly recommend going super early before the big crowds get there. That could be a 4-day trip. Just Versailles itself.
Yeah, it's large.
It was large. And all of Marie Antoinette's apartments were under construction, so we didn't even get to see those. And it still took us not as much time as I thought, but a long time to get through the part of the palace that we could get through. But it was so worth it.
Yeah, the palace was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. So much gold.
Yep. You stand in line to get into the palace. There's probably like, I don't know, 1,000 or more people in the line. And you're like, man, this place is going to be packed when you get inside. And then you get inside and it's just massive. Like everything's so massive. The rooms are so expansive. And it was hardly, I'm sure that there's times where it does get jam-packed in there.
Yeah.
But there were a ton of people there and there was still plenty of space to like move around. Like you could fit like a couple thousand people in some of the hallways that are there. It's just crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we got there early enough that the Hall of Mirrors wasn't super packed, and that was breathtaking. That was gorgeous, and they had a nice flow to it. Like they had like a museum guy in every room. A lot of the rooms they couldn't open the curtains because of the velvet and the paintings and stuff. So, like they wouldn't let you stand there too long.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't really block traffic, which I thought was really nice, and especially good when the tour groups came in. We tried to sneak in front of a lot.
Yeah.
Because those are really what bogs down museum and tours and things. I felt like we didn't need an audio tour or a tour guide for Versailles. I thought it was pretty standard by itself.
I think it would have taken a lot longer.
Yeah. I think it would have been like frustratingly slow.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Highly recommend it. And that wasn't, I think it was maybe £15 to get in, so it wasn't that bad of a ticket price. Oh,
Euros.
Euros. Sorry, I keep switching between the two. And then the gardens. Those are breathtaking. I would like to go back again in the spring when the fountains are on, but before the crowds get there. Because a lot of the fountains and, I mean, everything was still pretty dead, but a lot of the fountains, all the fountains were off, and a lot of the statues were still covered up from the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still breathtaking, even just, like, seeing the Poseidon fountain, and then the gold one in the front.
Yeah, and the grounds are just, like, immaculately maintained, even though they weren't, like, in full bloom and, like, super busy in the gardens. And the amount of work that it takes to just maintain
that.
such a large area, I don't even...
They must be mowing a part of it every day. They have to be. It was massive. And we stopped at the Dufons. What was it? Clubhouse or something like that? Like, there's a little section where it must have been a tiny, like, play area for the prince and princess, and they made it into a little sandwich and espresso bar. And...
Yeah, it was very cool. It's like in
Yeah.
a hedge, like, there's, like, a bunch of, like, very well-maintained pathways with very tall hedges next to them. I'm just, like, tucked back in between, like, some hedges, and you go back there and you order yourself a Sammy and go on your way.
Yeah, so we had lunch in the gardens of Versailles, lunch and coffee, and then we walked down a little bit, and they had like a nice little village with restaurant and gift shop and stuff.
Yep.
And we rented bikes. We were very French.
Thankfully,
Thank
we rented
God.
bikes.
We'd still be there if we
Yeah.
did not rent the bikes, trying to find our way back.
Well, just the area that we wanted to get to, it would have taken us forever just to walk there to get to the entrance to that place. It was just, I mean, the grounds are expansive.
They're massive. We saw maybe a tenth of the palace on bikes.
Yeah.
That's like a 3-day trip. If you don't get lost. If you get lost, you live there. That's your home now. But we went to Marie Antoinette's village in, it was one of the corners. I'll maybe put a map up in here. Because that's really what I wanted to see. It was just a tiny Hamlet-inspired village that she had built to, like, escape from it all. And pretend to be a peasant, which I'm super glad that we got to see. It was adorable. None of the houses were for sale. We tried.
Yeah, I couldn't even get into any of the houses.
Yeah.
It's a disappointment.
It was like a mix between, like, a tiny medieval village and Hobbiton. Because it was, like, you couldn't, ride your bike to, like, you can ride the bikes up into the village. Like, we got to one door and turned out that was the exit, so we had to turn around and bike all the way back around to another landmark that I can't remember the name. But you had to, like, walk through this tiny garden, and there was a tree from Napoleon the first time, and then you, like, come over the little stone bridge, and there it is in all of its teeny tiny wonderful thatched roof glory. And we went into her, like, second chateau that was there, like an actual tiny palace, not a small village house. That was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was, I'm guessing, out in other museums for other shows, but there was, like, a room that looked like an Apple store. That was weird. The one with, like, the white benches and the Mac.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, there wasn't anything in the
It's weird,
room.
like, half the computers were missing and none of them were on.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
But, like, we got to see the kitchens.
I'm sure it's like another learning studio thing.
Yeah. Maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
There was a building close by to it that was under construction. So, maybe later on. But we got to see, like, her living area. That was beautiful. Her pool table.
Yeah, she has a giant pool table.
It was like the
snooker
size.
table.
It was insane. Something you want to share?
Yes! I found this at the Palace of Versailles. It's just like a big spike. Like, bigger than your head.
Big head, too.
I found it outside of Marie Antoinette's village on the palace grounds, and I hid it and took it home with me. I don't know what it is or how old it is, but it's pretty neat. I got me a nice little 12-inch spike from France. It's my favorite souvenir, I think. Yeah.
He was very excited to find it. We, while we were biking past the entrance to get to the Hamlet Village, was it before or after the sheep?
I don't remember.
It was after the sheep. We found some French sheep, as one does when in France, and loves sheep. And then it was right outside the exit that we were trying to break into.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his favorite souvenir.
Yep.
Yeah. We were in the garden. We were in the gardens for a while. I mean, that's definitely a. You could easily spend a whole day just biking around it, and then a whole other day going to each separate section.
Yep. I think it'd be cool to have like a week-long camping trip in the gardens.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that, but I think we should.
They should make it into a camping ground.
They should, or glamping. I'd take camping, but if glamping was the only option, I would do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, SCA, get on that. Can we glamp at Versailles? Is that a thing? Are we allowed to do that? I don't know. There's a lot of army people. Probably not. And yeah, so we were there most of the morning. I think we left at 3:30, 4 o'clock maybe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably, I think it was a little bit after 4.
Yeah. And then we stopped and picked up our Paris mugs. Oh, we should grab those. What, are you tired? It's like your
Nope.
8th cup of coffee. So we got our Paris mugs. Oh, look how cute. Mm.
Yeah.
And they also have things on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
They're much harder to drink out of than I don't know why I thought they would be easy.
Yeah, these were gonna be my favorite souvenir, but yeah, they're tough to drink coffee out of.
You have to like drink it out of this corner here or right out of this corner.
So it's got a flat edge.
They're very pretty.
Maybe if you drink it like this. No, that'd be bad.
Oh no, I tried. It was a disaster.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, you have to like
Yeah.
maybe with just a straw. I think that's pretty accurate, yeah.
You pour it in there, you're good.
So we picked up those and then we got on the train and we went to Cat Leanne Yarn Store, which was very tiny and I think really good if I had a sweater in mind. But it was not the like one skein beauties that you kind of are used to seeing in yarn stores nowadays, I think. Cozy little tiny yarn store kind of thing. So then we stumbled across a French gun store and we popped in there to see what was up, and they had like the teeth, like a knife the size of my thumbnail. It was adorable. And then we went to La Bien-Aimée. And I blacked out a lot. I already showed you everything in the stash building, so you know that I don't remember buying 2 of those skeins. But they're home. They made it somehow. So how was one of your first yarn store experiences with me?
All the yarn was really pretty. She was very excited to be there. Not too excited, but like...
Contained excited.
Yeah, she's excited. I had to like kind of nudge her in the direction of being like, hey, introduce yourself to the nice lady behind the desk. And let her know what you do.
So we met Amy, who was wonderful, and I told her that I wanted to go to Edinburgh, and she was one of the main reasons. And so she's like, oh, you get to have your own Edinburgh Yarn Festival right now. And then the floodgates opened, and I just started grabbing things.
Yeah, she bought a lot of yarn.
I tried to buy, yeah, I already said this earlier in the video, that I kept trying to buy that one colorway in every base.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me no.
Yep.
But there's still the internet. But yeah, Jake did a super sly introduction of, oh, are you dyeing yarn back there? It smells like my house.
Mm-hmm. It did smell like my house.
Yeah, it was lovely to meet Amy, so I don't know if you watch this or if you will, but hi. It was wonderful to meet you, and I love your little store. It was wonderful. I could definitely see that being a really nice local yarn. Like, it's not big enough to have a knit night in, but it's the perfect little size to pop in and get something pretty to like cheer yourself up. Or they had Fiber Co, which I did look at, but I think I'd want a garment amount of their yarn, so I wasn't really prepared to buy what I did and also a sweater's quantity. And I didn't really have a plan for anything, so I didn't want to bring home a sweater's quantity of stuff if I wasn't sure what I would make out of it.
And it was the only yarn store we bought anything at this whole trip. We did not go to a single yarn store in London, which I'm not that sad about. There's still time. I'd rather go and get like a super specific fiber breed kind of yarn there. / blacker yarn isn't sold anywhere in London, so that was really what deterred me. Because I really want some blacker yarns. But yeah, and then we did. Where did we go after? Oh, we went to the catacombs.
Yes.
Which, once again, we bought tickets online through the catacombs website.
Definitely do that.
Do that
Because you get to skip the line.
And I didn't realize I did this, probably because I was trying to be super confident and order the tickets in French. I also got us the audio tour, which I highly recommend for the catacombs.
It's very interesting. So get like the line pass and the audio tour, and go down there and spend as much time as you want in any area. Don't let anybody rush you or push you out of those rooms. Just listen to your audio tour, take pictures. Like, oh man, unbelievable.
It was wonderful. It was amazing. I wouldn't say for the faint of heart. It's not for the claustrophobic, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely short.
Yes, it's also not for the super tall. You had some catacomb in your hair.
I definitely had, had some dust in my hair from the ceilings of the catacombs.
But it was great. It was wonderful. It's not, the audio tour made it sound like it was going to be pitch black the whole time, but it was definitely well lit.
Yeah.
Like nothing, I don't know why
it's not scary. It's just,
yeah, I wasn't afraid. For a minute, I thought something was going to pop out at me, and I don't know why, but then I was like, no, everything down here is dead.
It's just got like an eerie beauty to it, you know?
Yeah.
The way that they arrange all the bones and the shin bones and the arm bones and the skulls so that they have like certain patterns, and you have to like think about like how much history is there and how many people's lives are like there laying in front of you. It's very cool.
Yeah, and it was very interesting, the like how the catacombs came to be, how they started as quarries, and then how it turned into like a necessity to put the bones there because of just how fast Paris was growing, and like what made them start noticing the quarries more as Paris expanded, like,
And collapsed.
yeah, essentially they dug the quarries, didn't need the quarries anymore, and then Paris grew so quickly that it became too structurally.
What happened was, since they dug out these quarries underground,
They hollowed out Paris.
A ton of them, and they hollowed out underneath the ground a lot, so that they could build the Palace of Versailles and a bunch of other very historic buildings. But nobody, since it was so long ago, nobody kept track of where they were or how many there were. They were just where we got the rock to build the buildings. And then the city started like caving in on itself.
Sinkholes everywhere.
And
Louis the 16th.
yeah, he was like, all right, now we have to like find a national, I don't know, it was like national registrar, like a bunch of people that are going to go down there and map out the quarries and, you know, build the tunnels and paths all under the city so they can get from quarry to quarry, and they shored them up and they caved in some of them that were, or filled in some of them that were like going to be structurally unsound.
Yeah, and they started, I think it was before the French Revolution, but that's when they started putting the bones in the catacombs too. Like Louis the 16th is when they really started going through, but there were already bones in the catacombs by that point, I think, because they had to start digging. It just became so unhealthy to have the amount of cemeteries within city limits, along with the people expanding, that they had to dig up the cemeteries and put the body somewhere.
Right.
So that was super interesting, and like they used to have a museum of just the tombstones, but I don't remember what they said happened after the revolution. I think it got destroyed. There was a battle during the revolution in the catacombs.
That's pretty cool.
Talk about a battle of nightmares. That's amazing and terrifying. We also got, we do not remember, I mean I remember most of this from the audio tour, but a lot of the details we picked up this at the gift shop right outside, which goes into a way more in-depth detail.
I got my second favorite thing. Is like this little bad boy here. He's looking pretty mean.
Yep.
He's cool.
Oh, I'll get the magnet. You keep talking.
I don't know. It was a good time. I had fun. In like a eerie, creepy, catacomby kind of way.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I wore the goth skirt there. I did not take a picture of the goth skirt in the catacomb. And we also picked up this because we're super romantic. So the creepy Victorians put the skulls in the shape of a heart because Victorians are the best. Ooh, oh god, I threw it. I'm really glad we got tickets beforehand. Did not have to wait in that line.
Yeah, the line was long. I was actually, when we got there, I was worried that
We wouldn't get in.
We wouldn't get in because it'd be closed.
They say it's about a 45-minute walk through. I mean, we were probably in there for a good hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which I think was, it was starting to get more crowded because you could tell that they're letting, like they only let 200 people in at a time, but I think they were like trying to usher more people through because it was the end of the day.
Yes.
But I think we could have spent a little bit more time there. It was super interesting at the end. Like they had two of the sinkholes that had started forming. So they had one called the Bell Tower, which was structurally sound, but they didn't have an arch over it, so you could like see what it looks like before they collapse essentially. And then they had one farther down where they built an arch in it to keep it from collapsing farther. And like you could see the rock sediment lines. It was great. It was wonderful. Mm-hmm. And then you use the original staircase from the 1700s to climb out, which was great. And I'm really sad that there's a detail. So if you go, I guess most people miss this because you're walking up a spiral staircase, but they have like original details from when they started monitoring the catacombs, which I did not know about. Like it puts you with the meters and like how deep everything is. It was great. And underneath they have like street signs and stuff to show you where you are in Paris. It was amazing. I would highly recommend that as well. And then we went to a bakery because as one does after you see thousands of dead bodies, you need some baked goods. Famished. Halfway through I felt really weird saying that I was starving, but I was so hungry down there, and that was a very strange feeling. Yeah. It was just weird. Like I just kept looking over. I'm like, I don't want to be hungry right now, but I really, really want food. So maybe snack before you go in, or don't go in during dinner time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Get yourself something to eat before you go down there. Yeah, but not too much. I feel like if it was too full, then. Or bring a picnic. Oh yeah, I feel like that'd be a really good picnic spot. Yeah. No one would judge you or look weird. Maybe not a good knitting spot. It was kind of dark. It was a little dark for knitting. You can't really knit and walk because the ground was pretty uneven. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of kids down there. Yep. Yes, and then we went to the bakery. Gerard Molsky? No, Gerard Malott. Gerard Malott, and we got our macarons and some eclairs. And that's when my French failed me and I started speaking Spanish, so that was a little awkward. She was also just really tired at that point. I was very tired. When we got back onto into the metro to get home, she was like trying to take the wrong train and get off at the wrong stop, and she just was ready to go and go to sleep. I was dead. I was about dead at this point. It was our last night in Paris. It was our last night of the trip. My energy was gone, and I did not realize it until I fell asleep on the subway. It's alright. That was her. She was just making up. When we were in London, I went the, or was that, no, it was the first time. No, it was Paris. It's the first night we were in Paris. I took us the wrong way on the metro. By 12 stops. 13 stops out of the way. So, she was just her. It was my turn. Yeah. I mean, I didn't take us. Yeah, we went in the wrong direction by 9 stops, and then we had to stay on the same train for 16 stops. Which I've never been on a subway for that long. Even it was pretty much end to end, almost. Yeah. That was rough. It wasn't bad. No. It wasn't terrible. But yeah, and then the next morning, we got up, and we packed our stuff. We got in our private minivan and went to the airport and went home. Which was much colder. Much colder. windier. It's 50 today. Yesterday it was 30 and raining. When we left, there was 3 feet of snow on the ground. We're supposed to get snow this weekend. Yeah. The dogs missed us, and we missed them. So we should take them next time. It's only...
And it's too much hassle with quarantine.
I know. We just have to move there. So that was our trip, and it was amazing, and I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would go back to either place. I think there's definitely other places that I want to go first, then go back there. But
Yeah.
you know, there's so much of the grand old world that I haven't explored yet. So
Yeah. There's definitely more.
it's nice to have the experience of going to each place. And I think that we kind of saw what we wanted to see when we were there. I'm sure that anybody that goes there is going to want to see something different. So if you do go, just make sure that you see what you want to see, because you're never going to see everything unless you go there for like a year. So,
Which I tried to do in 3 days, and that did not happen.
Yeah.
We tried. We tried very hard. But yeah, I can't wait to go back. I think now that we've been there, it'll be a nice, like, homing place.
Mhm.
Like, as we tour the rest of the UK, we
Yeah.
can start or end in London and have a nice bit of familiarity. Same with Paris. So which was your favorite out of the two?
I don't really have a favorite.
I don't think I could pick one either.
Yeah.
No.
So
So that was our trip. Thank you for sitting through this giant jumbly mess of phone storage and donuts and coffee.
it was your fault.
I know, it was all my fault. I had to clean my phone off.
That's what happens when you get a Mac.
Alright, so thank you so much for sitting through this. If you have any questions, feel free to message. I will try to put as much information into the show notes as possible. And yeah, thank you for joining me.
No problem.
You can answer the question now. Would you ever come back?
Onto the show.
Yes.
They're going to have to upgrade the camera equipment a little bit. I'm just saying.
I'm working on it. We're going to practice with the DSLR today after we find that cord.
Yep, that's fine.
Alright. So, yeah. Have a good week. Happy crafting. Bye.